director Kevin Costner and producers Jim Wilson and Kevin Costner, Dances with Wolves. Congratulations.
Yeah, why don't you folks, yeah, come on, Jim.
Congratulations.
I'm fine, thank you. No, I'm positive.
Okay, let's hold it down. Yes, David?
Okay. Congratulations.
The camera guy's got those 3 marks you just go to, and I think
Pick your mark.
I know.
Every time we meet like this, I keep trying to get you to define what it is about Dances with Wolves that has captured the hearts and minds of so many people and now is getting all these awards. And maybe now tonight, in the flush of all of this, you can take another stab at it. What do you think it is about this picture that's so magical?
I think, boy, you know, I think every picture has its own length in it, has its own timing, has its own sense of rhythm, and we inherently feel that when we watch it. The same way we know someone in a room has talked too long. We know sometimes a movie's gone too long, and movies are have very distinct personalities. They're critical animals, and they have to be treated very individually, and they have to find their own rhythms. And the rhythms of Dances with Wolves had to do with wagons crossing prairies, and that didn't happen quick. It had to do with themes of people who couldn't talk to each other, and that takes much more time than the normal format allows for. So Dances, I think, found its own timing, and as a result of that, had its own rhythm. As far as you know, expectations, I think people expect to see a movie when they go. I know I expect to see a movie, and I expect to see stories begin and end. And I don't like being fooled terribly much, so my filmmaking is not that necessarily tricky. I like to give characters beginning, middles, and end as much as I can, even with supporting characters. And you know, I don't. I said the other day, I said I don't feel like I'm on the cutting edge of anything, but I do feel that I believe very strongly in a literacy of film.
Over here on the right.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
When you first began working on Dances with Wolves, did you ever imagine that you'd be standing here with 2 Oscars, one for Best Picture and one for Best Director?
No, but I knew Dances qualified as a movie, and that was the most important thing. I knew that it represented an idea of a movie, and it's kind of like anybody else when you get to, you know, you enter into the river of what movies are, and then these kind of things happen. But no, you don't do that. You can't really run your career looking for endorsement or to be, you know, you can't out-calculate. I'm looking for the word. You know, when you try to anticipate, when you try to be on that wave of expectation or that wave of shock value, my style is not there. I'm linked very much with the Bridge on the River Kwais and the river and movies like that.
In the back row.
Kevin, the expectation was that Dances was going to do very, very well, and indeed it has. And yet, in the acting categories, yours included, the movie was, for some, maybe surprisingly overlooked, maybe not for others. What does that leave you with, and how do you feel about that particular way as far as how things unfolded tonight?
I don't think it was overlooked. I think it was absolutely included. The caliber of people and the way things go. You know, there's a disappointment involved with not winning, but I have a really good answer for that, but not in a sense I think that I can give that. I think those people are very satisfied. They're also very human. And when they didn't win, there was a twinge, and the night turned into a long night. But those actors, you know, there is no shame in that. And I know that you don't think there is. There is no shame in that. And the expectations were, everybody might have been surprised had they won. They might have been damn surprised had I won. I was very pleased with acting in Dances with Wolves. I mean, I felt like I propped up a movie for 3 hours. That's okay, but when you look at what, you know, Irons and these guys are doing, you know, it scares you because they're so good. You know, I watch their scenes and I think, Jesus, I probably would have been over in the room doing some interesting little thing, and he just like stood there and did it. So I do like good acting. Good acting always has a tendency to scare me.
Gene?
Yes, you guys, I'd like to answer both questions.
Thank
Jim,
you.
yeah.
Let's not forget
Yeah,
Mr. Wilson is here.
I'm not. here's the question. You may come up with different answers. You guys busted so many log jams with this picture. The Western genre thought to be dead. The 3-hour movie, After the Right Stuff, thought to be dead. Subtitles. People in the suburbs don't want to see movies with subtitles. Can you take us into the boardrooms? You were selling this project. Of those 3 things, what was the toughest to get the studios, the financiers, to accept?
I can address one. I always loved it as an anecdote. Kevin and I went into a studio not all that long before shooting. We'd already raised some